NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports, is at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2012 Girls Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships. And hello again, everyone. Along with Steve Simpak, I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us as we get ready to crown 4 more state champions this year in Nebraska High School girls bowling. And we'll begin this morning in Class D with a team that's back here, Steve, for the 3rd consecutive year, but has yet to win it.
The Dodge Pirates, coached by Bernie Eichmeyer and Sandy Eichmeyer from Dodge. Maybe the 3rd time will be a charm here at the state finals.
Later this morning, we'll take a look at Class B. Lincoln Pius X going after its first girls state championship. They've won a couple on the boys' side, but this is a team that's filled with familiar names in Nebraska bowling.
Pius was the team to beat all year. Some bowling pedigree names. Mahacek, a big bowling name in Lincoln. Straub, everybody's heard that name in the state of Nebraska when it comes to bowling. Even Putney with a last name. We'll make sure and spell it right this time, and we'll see how they do that. Will be a very exciting match, Larry.
So in the girls state championship, it's a rematch from last year. North Star going after its 2nd consecutive state championship up against Lincoln East once again.
This will be a packed arena when those two schools meet. It will be packed. It'll be loud. Great bowling there in Class A also.
Should be a great day of high school bowling. It's coming to you this morning right here on NET Sports from Sun Valley Lanes. We'll kick it off with Newman Grove and the Dodge Pirates coming up next on NET.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Animal agriculture is vital to Nebraska. Livestock production not only contributes to our food supply, but also helps our rural communities. Livestock provides revenue for schools, creates jobs, supports Main Street, and enhances the future for farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Board's Animal Agriculture Initiative works to encourage growth of responsible livestock enterprises to benefit agriculture and Nebraska.
We'd like to say we have the good life in our state, and for more than 40 years, Nebraska Public Power District has kept the good life running smoothly for Nebraskans. We are driven to go above and beyond with a spirit to provide reliable, affordable electricity with outstanding customer service each and every day. Because in the end, we want to make the good life better for all. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
With the ball, drives right side, throws it up. Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Girls Class D State Championship of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. I want to remind you, if you'd like to pick up a DVD of these state championships, just log on to www.nhsbf.com and you can preserve these championship memories for a lifetime. It's the Dodge Pirates and the Newman Grove Blue Jays. Let's start with the favorites, the Blue Jays of Newman Grove. Justin Aranslam is the head coach, Tim Kruger the assistant, Brooke Nelson a senior, Christina King also a senior. Darian Picorni is a junior, Emily Strong freshman, and Megan Nelson is a sophomore. That's a look at the Dodge Pirates. Here's a look at the Dodge Pirates. Sandy Eichmeyer, the head coach. Alexis Marsh is a sophomore. Amanda Vodvarka and Kim Ruskamp, seniors, and Paige Holub is a junior. A couple of teams that are very familiar with state tournament action. These two teams have been down here multiple times and competed for state championships. They know each other well because they play in the same conference during the year. In fact, that conference won by Newman Grove with a 6-3 record. The Dodge Pirates were 4-4 in conference play, but it all comes down to how you're performing here at state end of the year and how you handle the pressure of Baker Match Bowling.
And Larry, you get out of your home center environment in high school bowling in Nebraska. You have home and away matches just like you would going on the road for a basketball game or something like that. And so when you get into the big arena, you know, it's a lot of pressure, a whole different environment. So you are 100% right about how you need to perform when it all matters here at state.
Many times there's a qualifying round in where each bowler bowls their own game and score, and then it advances to, after they qualify, it advances to what's called Baker bowling. And that is where each bowler bowls a frame within a game, and it's a game score against a game score. So that's one game. The best of 5 wins the championship.
You bet. It's named after Frank K. Baker, past president of the American Bowling Congress. He developed a method of team bowling that would really unify the team. And with Baker-style bowling, as you see, the 2 leadoff bowlers here for Newman, Grove, and Dodge each bowl the first frame. The next bowler in line will bowl the second frame, and then a different bowler the third frame, and so on and so on. So you need all 4 to really click here when it comes to Baker bowling, Larry.
A good shot early there by Kim Ruskamp, the senior, who averages 133. And here on the left-hand lane, Christina King, also a senior, averaging 131, going after the 10 pin and just slid it by the 10. So an open frame early on by the Blue Jays of Newman Grove. A chance here early for the Dodge Pirates to take the advantage as Kim Ruskamp will try to convert the 5 pin. Ruskamp's shot right down the middle and covers it easily. So a good start for the Dodge Pirates. Dodge, as we said, 4-4 during the season. They had a team average of 491 on the season. Newman Grove was just about 30 pins better than that at 524. The crossover strike. And Newman Grove with its first mark of the game. Brooke Nelson with the strike.
In Baker bowling, Larry, class C and D, which you will see, we bowl with 4-player teams, similar to high school basketball, as schools are determined in their class by their enrollment size, although they play 5 players. Basketball, here in bowling, we shrink the team down to 4 players for classes C and D, so that all-important second bowler gets a chance to bowl 3 frames, if I'm correct. They get to bowl the second frame, they'll bowl the 7th frame, and then they'll also bowl the 10th frame. So that's where you want your ace in the hole, basically, is what you want, is your seasoned player you can count on to perform in that 10th frame. And that person will get 3 frames in the game instead of 2.
Good cover by Amanda Vodvarka there, another senior for the Pirates. And now up here on the left lane, number 4, Megan Nelson. Megan just a sophomore. And Megan trying to convert on a 3-pin and just slides it by. So 2 single pin opens early on here for Newman Grove, and back-to-back marks for the Dodge Pirates, and the Pirates with the early advantage. So up on the right-hand lane now, Paige Holub. Paige right over second arrow, mixes them up, and leaves the 4-pin.
It's a very good shot. Paige playing in that area of the lane where you'll begin to see more and more players gravitate towards, and that's that area around the second arrow, the track of the lane.
Emily Strong crosses over. She leaves the 6-10. So still work to do for both of these 2 athletes. Here, Paige Holub again. Holub, a junior. Averaged 123 on the season and solid here early on. Handling the pressure very well are these Pirates from Dodge. Sandy Eichmeyer has had her teams down here plenty of times, and they are performing well under the lights and pressure of a state championship. Here's Emily Strong to convert. And a nice cover by Emily. So Newman Grove with its second mark in 4 frames. Right now a 10-pin advantage by the Dodge Pirates. Boy, look at that finish. Nice finish. Just a little to the left, and she leaves the 1-5. That's a tough sleeper spare.
To pick that up by hitting the head pin square on. So it takes out the 5 also.
Here's Christina King. Picks off the 3 on the left.
Even though of these teams have been in state championship competition before. Bright lights of television and an arena-style setting. You know, it's going to take a little bit of time to get everybody kind of off their tiptoes and relaxed.
So Alexis Marsh with the first open for the Pirates. That coming in the 4th frame. They still now have a 14-pin advantage after the 3-pin count on the spare by Newman, but a nice cover. Good job to come back and pick that up after just 3 on her first ball. So
That's
good
great.
cover by Christina King.
Great comment there, Larry. In bowling, you talk about losing pin count or losing a mark. When you have a spare, it's always as best an opportunity as you can get to get good pin count or a strike following a spare, because in bowling, scoring is scored after a spare. You get 10 pins plus your pinfall on your next ball. And that is very, very important to eliminate 3 counts or low counts after spares. But picking the spare up helps. Dodge right now with just the 1 open frame remains in the lead. So an early lead for the Pirates.
And a chance to hold on to that lead here with a spare, a tough 10-pin conversion for Kim Ruskamp. And that very brightly colored pink plastic ball that she has, and she covers it, and so they will make the turn. You will see both of these teams now switch sides as they flip lanes after 5 frames. Hey, I want to remind you, you can log on to facebook.com/NET Sports and become a fan. You can leave your questions, comments, see what happens behind the scenes at NET, plus follow what's coming up on NET Sports. It's fast, fun, and easier than ever to be part of the only statewide sports network on facebook.com/NET Sports. Everybody.
A lot of young fans here, Larry. Future bowlers.
That's right. So up on the right-hand lane now, Brooke Nelson, and needing to get some breaks, and they did not, as she goes heavy right through the head pin and leaves that 4-6-7.
First big split we've seen so far in this Class D match. You'll see just trying to go after the 2 pins on the spare. Very difficult to convert.
And a good break on the left-hand lane by Amanda Vodvarka, who trips one of the corner pins out and avoids the split.
You'll see Brooke go cross lane at the 4 and the 7. No need to try to pick this up. Well, Brooke's going to go the other route and go after the 6 pin. And some believe that you can slide that 6 pin over into the 4 and 7, but basically in a match like this, you want to keep that pin count that we talk about.
So here now to convert the single pin, and a good conversion by Amanda Vodvarka. Crossover and the carry. So the first strike of the match comes by Newman Grove on that right-hand lane. Good shot there by Megan Nelson. Now up on the left. H. Hollub. Wide right, she leaves 1-3-5-6.
Larry, everybody's just kind of worried about letting that ball come off their hand, possibly throwing a gutter ball. So you'll see a lot of players gravitate towards the center of the head pin there. Just a
big double, huge double by Newman Grove. Boy, do they need that. The Blue Jays found themselves down by 24 through 6 frames, as you see there, 99-75, and Newman Grove has now put up back-to-back strikes, an important spare here to stay ahead, and just slides it by on the left and losing pin count. So a big switch in the match. A strike here by Christina King would give the Blue Jays the lead in the match. So now they're down 2, but working on a mark in the 8th. So in 1 frame, with a double and an open in the 7th and 8th, things are back to even in this Class D state championship match.
A couple of tough spares there now for both teams. So you'll see that for Newman Grove, you'll see Christina King there getting a little pep talk there from Coach Ranslem going cross the lane at the 3 and the 8. Ball needs to take both pins out. Just faded enough for the ball. Didn't carry that, excuse me, that's the 3-9, or didn't carry that 9 pin out. So opportunity here now, Larry, for Dodge to go back on top.
Big conversion here on the left-hand lane by Alexis Marsh. And Marsh, good shot, and got it. Boy, what a big shot by Marsh there in that 8th frame. So this, now in the 9th frame, they will bowl before Newman Grove will bowl. Newman Grove has already completed its 9th frame, so now Dodge will bowl. And a mark here would put Dodge up by 10 going into the 10th frame. So right now, still essentially an even game. Based on count here, Dodge should have the lead.
An old bowling term is called the foundation frame. That's what the 9th frame is. You want to mark in the 9th to set you up for good scores in the 10th.
So that will make it a 1-pin tie game. Sorry, in the 8th, it's a tie game at 122. So here's where we're at. You see in the 8th, 122. Newman Grove opened in the 9th. Dodge needs this spare here in the 9th to take the advantage going into the 10th. If she doesn't, we go into the 10th, and it'll all be decided by the anchor bowlers. So on the left-hand lane, here's Kim Ruskamp for the conversion.
Watch Kim when she lets go of the ball. She has a tendency to rotate that hand from right to left, causing a little bit of a hook. And now it is dead tied, Larry.
All even heading to the 10th. 131 apiece, and that's, if you're these two coaches, you never mind coming down to the end and having it in the hands of your anchor bowler. As Steve mentioned early, 4 bowlers compete, and typically this would be your strongest bowler on your team. So on the right-hand lane, Brooke Nelson. Nelson, shot right down the middle. Got it. Big strike by Brooke Nelson in a crucial situation for Newman Grove.
Couldn't see that on camera, but she didn't even crack a smile. She was all business on that shot. She knew what she needed.
Now on the left-hand lane, the shot by Amanda Van Varken needs to answer. Gets out of the 7-10. Big break. Still potential for a tie based on what happens here on the right-hand lane by Brooke Nelson.
Strike here will lock it up for Newman Grove as long as she stays behind the foul line, and still a chance for a tie.
So now an all-important must-have spare for Amanda on the left-hand lane. If Amanda picks this up, still a chance to win. Miss this, Newman Grove takes game 1.
Not going to get there, Larry.
Slides by, and game number 1 will go to the Blue Jays of Newman Grove. Dodge with opportunities there as they led much of the early part of the match. In fact, led by 24 pins in the 7th frame. So coming from behind and winning at 151 to 140 is Newman Grove.
Well, that was pretty doggone good there, Larry.
Yeah.
A couple of open frames there. You know, we've seen some early matches where, especially in the morning, where everybody's just not quite awake yet. You know, you're dealing with a lot of high school athletes here. You know, we both have high schoolers, and we know how it is to get them out of bed bright and early, and then make them go on TV of all things.
Right.
So, but 151 to 140 is pretty good. A good start. Everybody now has had a chance to exhale, and maybe we'll see a few more strikes here. We already had a couple doubles, but I think everybody will be getting lined up here. A lot of low maintenance games. Everybody really has pretty good bowling form, very good bowling form there. Shoulders slightly ahead of the feet, right down the middle of the lane, and got a break.
Trips the 10-pin out. A little friendly roll and friendly bounce. So once again, Dodge on top early. That's tugged just a bit. She'll pick 5 off of the left-hand side of the rack. So Newman Grove takes game number 1, 151 to 140. And what that means is they have a lead in that best-of-5 format. So Newman Grove would need to win 2 more to win the state championship, and Dodge now needs to come from behind and take 3 of the next 4. Christina King now up on the right-hand lane.
You watch Christina when she lets go of the ball. She comes out of it kind of quick. She sets it down pretty fast. Sometimes that can be a little errant in your accuracy.
So an open to start for Newman Grove, but nothing new for them. They've done that in game number 1 as well. But Varka wraps the 10 or 5-pin and rattles it, but can't get it to fall.
It's a good shot. Put it where it had to be. Just didn't catch the break.
Chance here now to even it back up by Brooke Nelson. Right through the middle and leaves the big split.
Brooke just came back and finally smiled and said, oh boy. That's the double P-knuckle, the 4-6-7-10.
Can't quite get the 10 to fall. A bit unusual for those of you who are familiar with Class D girls bowling. This is the first year in the history of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Class D Girls State Championships where either McCool Junction or Alma has not been in the finals. One of those two teams every year since 2004, the first year these were contested in Class D, have not been in the finals. In fact, McCool Junction won the first 4 state titles. Alma came from behind, came back and won the next 3. So for the last 7 years, it's been either McCool Junction or Alma winning a title. We'll have a new champ for the first time in Class D girls play.
Makes for good television ratings.
That's right, exactly. And interestingly enough, both of these teams, Newman Grove and Dodge, knocked off Alma and McCool Junction to get here. So if you're going to get here to the finals, you got to beat the best, and they certainly did yesterday.
Good coaching stability with both these teams. Tim Kruger has been a part of the Newman Grove program since its inception, and Sandy Eichmeyer, along with her husband Bernie, have done the same at Dodge. And good stability, good people in charge of those programs.
And got the carry and the strike on the right-hand lane.
Big double there with Newman Grove.
Emily Strong with the strike and the double.
Another tough split here.
There's Alexis Marsh. And she gets 2. So once again, out of the blocks, Newman Grove falls behind with back-to-back opens. As they did, they opened 2 of the first 4 frames in the first game as well, but both times able to come back and throw a double to take the lead.
See Christina there, just comes out of that ball a little early. You don't technically want to loft the ball way over the foul line, but you want to get the ball off your hand over the foul line. And Christina comes out of that ball so early, drops down near her foot right at the foul line. It's not a foul, it's just only a foul if your foot touches it.
Right.
It's the opposite there.
So back-to-back bad breaks there by Dodge on that left-hand lane. Back-to-back splits, the 7-2 and now the 7-10 split. And this to extend that lead and chops the 1-3 off of the 1-3-5-6. Here's
some people hear the coach yell or tell his player, get 1. That 1 pin can be awfully handy when you get down to the late frames.
Yep.
6-pin lead for Newman Grove as we go into the second half of the second game.
So once again, you will see both teams flip sides. You bowl the first 5 on one lane, the next 5 frames on the other lane. Hey, sports fans, NET is waiting for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other network. So tune in and watch us cover high school athletics. And for more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, you can just log on to netnebraska.org/sports. Now up on the left-hand lane is Brooke Nelson. Nelson, the anchor bowler, so this would be her second of 3 shots she will take in this game. Through the middle and a 3-10 split. She had 3 straight splits on that left-hand lane, 27.
Very tough spare here for Amanda Vidvarka. The 1-3-8. Ball needs to finish in position to get that 8-pin out of there. So now we're beginning to see them maybe clench the ball a little bit, Larry, as everybody is trying to guide it into the pocket. There you see Newman Grove assistant coach Justin Ranslam giving Brooke Nelson a little bit of a pointer on how to get that 3-10 baby split. 2 ways to pick it up. Best way to has that ball go right in between the 3 and the 10, and that came off her hand very early.
Not that Justin's picky, but he's the head coach. He might let you know later. He might, I'm in charge here.
Time for the
That's right.
time for the emails now to come.
Not now.
I haven't checked my Twitter account to see how bad that's gotten here in the last 30 seconds.
So both teams opening in the 6th, and a 5-pin advantage by Newman. So a big shot here by Newman and Brooke Nelson. An important frame here to mark, stay in it, or take the lead based on what Paige Hollub does on the right lane.
Another tough cluster, 1, 2, 5, and the 9. Just get that ball right around the 1 and the 2. Should be a spare. Ball's going to have to hook a little bit.
And she got it. Sends the 1 head pin off the wall. Back to knock out the 5-pin, so a big mark for Dodge.
Puts them in the lead, Larry.
So now an answer. And she got it. Good cover by Nelson.
It's time for Alexis Marsh here to give Dodge a little help. Right down the middle towards the head pin, and you can see that coming, Larry. Same spot.
So Alexis Marsh with the big split in the 8th, and you can see there a 5-pin advantage. And that 7 in the 8th makes it 88. So still a tight game here in the 8th frame. She carry it does. You saw the 5-7 hanging around, but they get tripped forward and backward, and she gets the carry. Folks from Newman Grove here in attendance. So Newman Grove extends its lead now with the open in the 8th and the strike by Newman Grove also in the 8th. There's a look at head coach Justin Hanslem.
Double here in the 9th, Larry, should be enough for Newman Grove to take a 2-0 lead.
Just a little left. And she's got work to do. Not an easy spare. Up on the right-hand lane now. Here's Kim Ruskamp. Important shot for Dodge to try to get back in it. She sends it left side of the head pin and gets out the 7. Nearly had a 6-7-10 split, but now she'll just have 6-10 work to do. Now to hang on to that lead on the left-hand lane, Christina King for the spare conversion. Just slid it by, so that opens the door for Ruskamp here. Remember, Dodge on top. We get Newman Grove on top, 1-0.
Big spare here, Larry. The ball's
Hang
going to have
on.
the hook.
Nope. So just slides off, and that lead still safe by Newman Grove. So they're up by 19 pins, and it would...
Really, a mark is all Brooke needs to seal it. And now Dodge has to strike to have any chance.
I might be mistaken, but I thought for sure, Steve, that Brooke Nelson bowled in the 7th frame. Because didn't she have the 7th spare?
Actually, that was her sister Megan Nelson.
You're right, thank you.
And we're going to assume.
Very good catch.
Yes.
Good catch. So the number's on the other side. There you go.
That's what you get for telling me you're in charge. 133 for Newman Grove. That's enough, though, as Dodge, the best they could shoot is 125. So a quick 2-game lead for the Lady Blue Jays.
So a nice spare conversion there in the 10th by Amanda Vadvarka, but it will be a little too late. 133, the total score for Newman Grove after a 151 in game number 1.
We have seen plenty of deficits of being down 2 games come back and win state championships. And that's the uniqueness of Baker bowling, is you always have an opportunity to come back. Now if the game's over, you start over.
Yep. So Newman Grove on top 2 games to none on top of Dodge. 151-140 game 1, game 2 131-117. Let's take a look at the individual scores in Class D. Now, Class D girls singles competition was happening at the same time that qualifying was yesterday. So these are the individual scores in the top 10 in the state. So your state medalist, first in the state, Lene Solderholm from Alma, who did not make it here to the finals. Then a couple of Newman Grove, Emily Strong, Brooke Nelson finishing 2 and 3. And you saw the rest there with Katie Hornbacher from McCool Junction finishing 4th, and Kim Ruskamp of Dodge in 5th. So those first 5 would be considered your first team all-state performers here at the state tournament. Next 5, second team all-state at the state tournament. So congratulations to those ladies for performing well yesterday.
Lene Soderholm from Alma, another familiar name. It's been around state Class D bowling for a long time. Very good shot.
And the strike by Kim Ruskamp. That'll give Dodge another early lead. So here's Emily Strong to try to convert this 6-10. Needs to get over just a bit. Got the 10 off the 6. Not quite.
Dodge gets out of the gate fast, Larry,
Yes,
but
they
they just have got to convert those spares as they move along throughout the middle portion of the frame, or of the game, I mean. There's another, almost another strike.
So now up on the left-hand lane, Brooke Nelson. And there, Brooke leaves the 1-3-6. Now on the left-hand lane, we're going to take a look at Amanda Von Varken. Steve, watch her eyes and where she looks when she bowls. She looks down the lane, now looks down again, and down the lane again. And right before she releases, looks straight down once again. She's really picking up her mark on the lane, but making sure that she's lined up down the lane as well.
A number of different lane markers on the bowling lane. You have the 7 arrows that are at about the 15-foot mark, but at about 9 feet you have a row of dots, and that's what she's doing, Larry. She's moving her eyes back towards the foul line, picking up where she's going to mark down the lane to try to hit that mark to improve her accuracy.
So good cover there by Brooke on the left-hand lane. And now Paige Hollub. And Paige, boy, there is something you don't see every day. Nearly the entire back row.
Get our pin chart out for that one.
We know where the ball went. That is a 3-7-8-10. So the ball went right by the 9. Up on the left-hand lane here is Megan Nelson, Megan Brooks' sister. And Megan with a good shot as well. Comes up a bit light, and so now you see the instruction happening here.
Now,
what am I supposed to do with this? This is a tough conversion. I think the idea here would be to throw very slowly, hit the left-hand side of the 3, see if you can somehow ricochet. It depends on speed and weight of your ball.
I was going to say, this is a makeable split. If she gets to the left, or she could try to slide the 3 into the rest.
That's probably the better approach right there.
Yeah, just a little bit, she says. So,
right-hand side of the 3, I misspoke.
Well,
would have been difficult to.
New spare here for Newman Grove puts them in the lead, Larry, and a possibility of going 3-0 and locking things up, but very close now. 1-pin lead for Dodge going into the 4th frame. Watch all these girls, Larry, when they let go of the ball. A couple of things to look for as a sign of good coaching and good bowling is being solid at the foul line. When you talk about being solid, you see a lot of contemporary players on the Pro Tour that throw the ball with such speed and with such just torque at letting go of the ball that they fall away from the shot. These girls, when they let go of the ball, they stay stable at the foul line, and that's good bowling accuracy. It is. Watch here for Dodge, Alexis Marsh here as she lets go of the ball. You just watch how smooth she lets go. She stays nice and put at the foul line. Call that a pose.
Good high finish.
She just turns her wrist a little bit to the right. The bowling ball we used to teach in bowling in lessons that your thumb is almost like the steering wheel of your car. Whichever way your thumb is pointing when you let go is usually the way the ball rotates and the direction the ball goes. And her ball does have a little bit of a reverse hook to the right.
Tight game here through 4, 44-43, Dodge on top. Dodge needs the win to stay alive. Newman Grove with the victory will become state champs for the first time. Both of these teams looking for their first ever state championship in Class D girls. Yep, great story. So a good shot there by Kim Ruskamp. And now trying to answer Emily Strong in the left lane. Leaves the 5-pin. Emily's been right around the pocket. She had a couple of strikes early, had that double to help Newman Grove get back into it. Now needs to convert here on this 5-pin.
Right down the middle, same line for your strike ball, your first ball. You want to be right in that general area. This is a big spare with Dodge with the strike working. Newman Grove, in order to not fall further behind, needs this spare.
And just slides by.
There's a chance for Dodge to get back into it now. Switch lanes for the second half of game 3.
Well, you can download our new NET Radio Nebraska mobile app and listen live to NET Radio's news, classical, or news jazz stations, wherever you are. Pause and rewind the live audio, plus explore past and present stories on NET News. Look for the free NET Radio Nebraska app at the iTunes or Android app markets. Big shot there and a strike by Amanda Von Varka trying to hang around. The double really puts Newman in a hole here. Newman Grove down now by 20. Shot by Brooke Nelson just off. Now looking for 3 in a row. This would be our first 3-bagger of the match. Paige Holliver. Right around the pocket. Got it. What a shot by Paige. 3 straight. And Dodge beginning to walk away with this one, now up by 34 plus count. And that further compounds the issue for Newman Grove. So with a 2-games-to-1 lead, they have a lot of work here to close it out here in Dodge. Making a bit of a run. Alexis Marsh. Can she get it? Wobbles the 7, but can't quite get it to fall. So a 43-pin lead through 6 frames for Dodge. Not insurmountable. They need to start going now. So the crossover by Megan Nelson. And now Megan with the 5-pin. On the left-hand lane, 7-pin for the Dodge Pirates. And Alexis Marsh. And good cover. If they can stay clean the rest of the way, it'll be tough for Newman Grove to get back into it. And tugged a little bit. Just kind of thumbed down and finished around it and pulled it a little bit. So left the open in the 7th frame, and the lead extended once again by Dodge to 54. My quick math is correct.
Wouldn't say insurmountable, but boy, it looks like Newman Grove's just going to have to pick it up and worry about the next game. Wall shot there just about carries the 4. Now here's where you may see a little bit of a substitution here for Newman Grove. Newman Grove knows that they pretty much are out of winning this game 4. So we do have some extra players on the bench. We have one, Darian Picorni. As Coach Ransom is talking to her now back in the players area. Might see a chance here for her to come in and get a shot or two in, just in case there's a need for a substitution.
And a good cover by Kim Ruskamp, the senior who's headed to Franciscan University of Steubenville next year. On the right-hand lane, Christina King with a nice cover. So checking now the score to see if it's wrapped up before deciding if they might sub or if they will just wait for Newman Grove to catch up, which is what they'll do. They are ahead by, on the scoreboard, they've bowled one more frame, so they'll wait for Newman Grove to catch up. And here's Emily Strong in the 9th.
Well, of course, this makes all the difference in the world. You know, we would love to see them all go 5 matches, or 5 games, I should say. Give everybody an opportunity to bowl and to have a great experience down here at the state tournament, Sun Valley Lanes, and the other bowling centers here in Lincoln, Parkway Lanes and Hollywood Bowl. Packed with all 4 classes, classes A, B, C, and D, just like all the other sports in high school athletics. And as a matter of fact, I was told that there were so many people at Hollywood Bowl yesterday that people were bringing in their own chairs from the trunks of their car because there was nowhere to sit. There was such a big crowd down there for Class A.
Amanda Vodvarka. So now back up on the right-hand lane, Brooke Nelson.
Well, sparing another strike or sparing 9 count for Dodge. They're going to shoot 180. That's a very good Baker game. Just 3 open frames, but that 3-bagger in the middle there really helped.
So here's Amanda to finish it up on the left-hand lane. She's headed to Lincoln next year. From Dodge, she's going to be an agronomy major at the University of Nebraska. Good cover. She says she loves the pressure of the 10th frame, does Amanda Vodvarka, and she performed well there. So they will go on to win this as Nelson chops that front pin off, and that'll be their first loss of the match. They won the first 2 games, and losing game number 3, they shot 110 after 151, 131 the first 2 games. So the final ball of game number 3 is in the pocket and a strike by Amanda Vodvarka. 181, as you mentioned, Steve, the final score in game number 3, and we are 2 games to 1 now. The advantage to Newman Grove. Had a chance to close it out and win a state title there. Now they'll have to go to game number 4. There you see the final, 181-110.
Sorry about that, Larry. A lot of times you'll see with a big game like that, usually in game 3 or game 4, that'll propel the team, you know, on, and keep them really on a roll. So I would expect this next one to be very close. Dodge seems to have a little more of a spring in their step now. They discussing what to do as to maybe making some slight adjustments in the lane. The lane conditions we bowl on here, for those of you at home that aren't really familiar about what happens on a bowling lane. Each bowling lane in every bowling center, really, your hometown bowling center or the ones here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, are conditioned where there's a very light film of a very light oil that is applied to the lane, and that film of oil, depending upon how much or what type of oil, and it's up to each bowling proprietor to choose what they'd like to do, can guide the ball to the pocket, can assist in scoring, or sometimes can inhibit scoring.
Right.
Here in Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, the majority of the lane conditioner, we call it, is in the center of the lane. The reason for that is that's where the most traffic is. Most people do play in the middle of the lane. So you'll see balls skid, not hook so much. They almost look like they slide in the middle, like right there. Look at that shot, Larry.
What a conversion.
5-7 split there. Very good.
Great shot by Kim Ruskamp. The 5-7 split conversion. Splits on both sides, and now a much more difficult split for Emily Strong to try to convert.
4-6 does not have the success that you might see with the 5-7. But as you see, when the ball gets to the end of the lane, as you saw with Emily's ball there, it takes a little bit of a sharp hook at the end. That's because the end of the lane is dry, which allows that ball to drive through the pins.
Here's Amanda. Moves out the 10th frame with the strike. Starts out leaving the 1-3.
And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to get used to how the lanes are going to react. Now, these ladies bowled here yesterday in qualifying at Sun Valley Lane, so they're a little more familiar now. A little bit later on in our telecast, you'll see classes A and B. They did bowl at the other two bowling centers here in Lincoln at Hollywood Bowl and Parkway Lane, so it might take a little bit of time for them to get a little used to it too. Either way, when you get to game 4, you've got to have things figured out.
So nice conversion. Back-to-back marks by Dodge, so an important shot here. Brooke Nelson, and that will slide right by the 7-pin. So opening it up a bit is Dodge. Back-to-back marks in frames 1 and 2, and Newman Grove with a couple of opens.
Chance for Dodge to really put the pressure on Newman Grove here with a break, and it gets it.
Kicks the 6-pin forward and got the strike by Paige Holland.
I think she's the team leader, the fire 'em up gal on the team.
Absolutely.
That's a good example there of how the bowling lane is conditioned as Megan Nelson leaves the dinner bucket, the 2, 4, 5, and 8. The ball coming through that lane conditioner took a very sharp break at the end, just enough to send that head pin around 2 and the 4-pin.
Important conversion now here for Megan Nelson.
Megan, the younger sister of Brooke, needs to hit the ball square on these pins. As you saw that ball just flip a little bit at the end there.
So 3 straight opens for Newman Grove here in game number 4.
Coach Eichmeyer giving a little bit of advice here to Alexis Marsh on converting to 2 and the 5.
And a good cover by Alexis, the sophomore. And a good mixer on that right-hand lane. Just what Newman Grove needed to try to climb back into this, down by 31 pins through 3 frames, 58-27 through 3. So Newman Grove needs to back that strike up with another one here on the left-hand lane.
Double from Newman Grove would cut that lead in half.
Here's Kim Ruskamp. Didn't get the 7-pin to fall, so a split could be a big turning point here in game number 4 if Emily Strong can strike.
Strike here, Larry. Very helpful. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Another tough spare. You'll hear Larry and I talk about double wood or multiple pin spares. If you look at lane 28, the 1, 2, 4, and 8, 1 pin behind the other, really requires you to be accurate to pick that up.
Might get it. Ooh, nice run. Boy, she's got some spare split conversion going on there. Does Kim Ruskamp. Here's Emily Strong.
Let's get the ball over in that area.
A mark, and got it. You saw the intensity on the face of Emily Strong, and she delivers. Good conversion. That will cut into that lead and will now be, based on count, less than a 20-pin advantage as they switch sides. Well, this is NET, the home of NET Television, NET Radio, and NET Online services for all Nebraska. NET is on the go with you. Watch, listen, and learn at home, on your computer, on your phone, or in your car. NET, the place for excellent programming. Everywhere for everyone.
That was an excellent shot there, too, from Dodge. That strike working now in the 6th will increase their lead.
Big strike there for Dodge, and now very important. Paige Holland to answer here on this right-hand lane. Can she get the carry? Doesn't quite get the 5-pin to go. But that will cut it to a 20-pin advantage for Dodge. 84-64 through 5. And a good spare conversion.
in the middle of the 5-pin, Larry. These are the spares you can't miss. If Dodge is going to even this match up at 2 games apiece, you've got to pick up the 5-pin right down the middle. That's a very good shot.
And a great cover.
She comes back with the fist pump there, the Tiger Woods fist pump. She knows how important these spares are.
Megan Nelson comes in light. Can she trip the 7? Wobbles and can't get it to fall. But a nice shot by Megan Nelson. Now up on the right-hand lane, Alexis Marsh, the sophomore. And Alexis will pick a few off, 4 off of that left-hand side, and that hurts from a count perspective as well. 4 pins added to the previous mark. So now Coach Justin Ranslem up there chatting about this spare conversion, important spare conversion with Megan Nelson. Got her lined up, make sure she knows where she's standing and what she's looking at in order to convert. And does it get it? It does. Just catches the edge of it.
Couldn't see the expression on her face there, but it was very relieved that ball made that hook at the end. This is a big spare for Dodge here. This keeps their lead at more than 20 pins, and what you see Alexis do there at the end, when she lets go of the ball, it looks like she's just hanging in it a little bit. Yep. Her hand coming out a little bit late, being a right-hander, it causes that ball, her arm and the ball to come across the front of her body and go left of target. Here's a chance for Newman Grove to get right back
in it, absolutely. And even with the 8-pin count, a spare here and good count on the next ball, they're within pins. So a huge turning point there in that 8th frame.
Newman Grove needs to convert this spare, Larry, and if they do, they're back within potentially less than 5 pins, close to a 1-pin lead now for Dodge when they were enjoying a lead of more than 20 pins there. And with Newman Grove with that 2-game lead, it might be enough.
Important spare here on the left-hand lane for Christina King to get back into it. And you see her turning to Justin Ranslem, who's telling her this is what you want to look at. Obviously, these girls using the lane dots and the lane arrows to help line them up, and she just chops the spare.
Tough break there, just a tough break. She put the ball where it needed to be. The ball just backed up a little bit to hit that head pin straight on. Takes it right off the 3 pins. So now Dodge with a strike here can really, really make it tough on Newman Grove to come back and take the lead.
She'll leave 3 on the left side. 2, 4, 5 is left. Emily Strong now. Trying to get back in it is Newman Grove. She has work to do as well.
Right now, unless Newman Grove can string together a couple of strikes in the 10th frame, if Dodge can just stay clean, and by clean in bowling we mean no open frames, spares and strikes. If Dodge can stay clean, they're going to win this 4th game and force game 5 for the state championship. It starts with this spare, the 2-4-5.
Good cover. Big spare in the 9th frame. And that puts a must-have stamp on the spare by Emily Strong. Gotta have it to stay in it, and she doesn't. So that'll open the door even further. 42, about a 22-pin lead going into the 10th. So really just good count is all Dodge needs here. And around the pocket all day has been Amanda Vodvarka, and this is no different as she trips the 10-pin off there, but leaves the 5. And that will do it, as that's a 150, and the best that Newman Grove can have now is a 149. So the good pin count by Amanda Vodvarka, and despite the strike, it's a little too late for Newman Grove, and this will go. Our first match of the day, how about that, Steve? Going to 5 games. We've got a day full of high school state championships coming your way. We begin this morning in Class D girls competition. Of course, this Newman Grove and Dodge about ready to hit a deciding 5th game as Amanda Vodvarka with the spare conversion. Then coming up next in Class C girls, Burwell Ord will take on Wayne. And then later today, Waverly and Pius 10th will battle for the Class B championship. And then in Class A later today, it's a rematch of last year between Lincoln East and Lincoln North Star for the girls' Class A state championship.
That will be very good bowling.
Yep. So a solid 160 score for the Dodge Pirates. And they win game number 4 despite the double in the 10th frame from Brooke Nelson. There's too many opens earlier in the, really had a chance to get back in that in the 8th and 9th frame with marks, Steve, and those 2 opens were very costly as they lose it 148 to 160. So Dodge has come back and evened it up. Newman Grove takes 1 and 2, Dodge takes 3 and 4, and we are headed now to a final and deciding 5th game. Winner of this match wins the Class D Girls State Championship.
Well, as we said in the open, Larry, the Dodge Lady Pirates, this is their 3rd trip in a row, if I'm correct, Larry, to the state finals. They were 0 for 2 the last 2 times. Coach Sandy Eichmeyer and her husband Bernie are the owners of Hilltop Lanes in Dodge. And they just do a fantastic job there. And
starting off with a strike is Emily Strong. That's a strong start. Yeah.
Sorry, Larry, they have such a big following there, and they have a lot of high school teams bowl out of that small little 8-lane center, very popular. But this, I think everybody's kind of figured out where they need to throw the ball now, so you're going to see some good shot making now. A big advantage is to come out of the gate in the all-important 5th frame with a double. If they can do that with Newman Grove here, with Brooke Nelson, a quick double will, oh my, just about sends the 5 into the 10. Really clamp down on Dodge to make some better shots here. This is a tough spare, the 1-3-6.
You mentioned back-to-back years. Dodge has been here in the final, lost both times to Alma. They also were here back in 2004 and lost to McCool Junction. So a chance for Dodge to win its first state championship. Their 4th appearance in the finals, 3rd consecutive year. And they find themselves down here early on by 12 pins in frame number 1, although that finds the channel, so it's an 11-pin lead with an open in the 2nd by Newman, and important here for Amanda Budvarka to mark to keep Dodge in it. And wobbles the 5 and can't quite get it to go.
Easy spare, though. Leaves the 5-pin. Newman Grove with that open in the 2nd really needs a mark here to get back in the hunt.
Solid shot there by Megan.
Like the way Megan lets go of the ball. She gets a little right to left hook. She comes out of the ball very clean. Plays in the right part of the lane. Just a little bit of a break, leaving the 4 and the 7.
Hang on, just runs it by, does Budvarka. That was a chance to even it up.
Got to pick those easy spares up, Larry. It's just, it's like missing free throws in a basketball game. You need to make your free throws. You need to pick your spares up in bowling.
Hang on, and she got it. So the spare conversion by Megan Nelson. And Newman Grove opens up that lead. Important shot here by Holub. Holub crosses over, trips the 5 right in front of the 9-pin, so she'll have that left to pick up. This is where they begin feeling that, they know this match, this game right here is for the state championship. They know they're only going to have a couple more shots the rest of the season. They will absolutely have an impact and a crossover strike. So what a shot by Christina King.
And that's the break. That's the unexpected break. Sometimes you don't know if you're ever going to get. Makes this spare even more important for Paige.
Paige Holland's done a nice job today.
This is going to be very close here. If Newman Grove can strike here and have a double, give them about a 21-pin lead, Larry. It looks good.
Leaves the 5-7.
And then there's the breaks that you wouldn't want to get that you get in shots like that.
That's right.
But we've seen that spare made already once today, so.
Right around the pocket. So a good shot and leaves the 4-7.
Well, Larry, you know, at this point, the 5-7's a makeable split. I would tell my bowler, I would tell Emily Strong to go after it, which she is. She's going to give it a heck of a try.
What a conversion by Strong. Big shot in game number 5 for the state title.
Been the winning shot there, Larry. Makes this spare a must-have. Oh.
Just slides by. Amazing what a shot like that can do for your morale and how it impacts the other team as well.
Gives Newman Grove a 35-pin lead now going into the 6th frame. Dodge still has to complete their 5th. If there's ever a time you need a strike, it's right now. Kim Ruskamp needs to be right around the head pin and hopefully get a strike to keep Dodge within striking distance. A lot of loft on the lane.
On the head pin, leaves that 5-9. It's an important spare here to keep this close.
You need to pick your spares up. So if she can convert the 5-9, they'll be down by about 25, but it's not out.
I don't know if you noticed, but an interesting approach by Justin Ranslam here in game number 5. The girls have been standing the entire time through the first 4 games, and then they decided, let's relax, let's sit down, let's take our time. It maybe sets a mood, sets a tone for the team, a little bit more relaxed they seem to be, and they're making shots here in game number 5.
Some focus is what it is. You need to pay attention to what's going on in the lanes. That's a good spare. 5-9, they needed that. We're going to switch sides here, Larry, and Newman Grove needs to stay clean, and Dodge needs to string some strikes. Otherwise,
25-pin lead. Hey, I want to remind you, want to preserve these state championship memories for a lifetime. You can get a DVD of today's telecast from the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships. Just log on to NHSBF.com, follow the prompts, and order your DVD and preserve these championship memories for a lifetime. Leaves the 2-pin. Does Amanda Vodvarka, but right around the pocket. So up on the right-hand lane now, Brooke Nelson. Nelson and her team, Newman Grove, on top by 25 pins. Now 22 after the count.
Amanda needs to convert this, Larry. She needs to convert this to keep Dodge in the hunt. Go right at the 2-pin, right in the face. Very good. And now a tough spare, the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Brooke needs to get that ball on the left side of the head pin. Oh, you saw her right when she let go of the ball, she flipped her wrist to the right. The thumb rotated to the right, pointed at 3 o'clock when she let it go. That ball came off her hand, went to the right immediately. Boy, that really tightens things up.
Important shot here now. What a shot! Big ball. Paige Holloman, she's just been a leader for this Dodge Pirate team here today.
Gives them a 2-pin lead. Dodge being down by 25, now in the lead by 2. That split, oh my gosh, it's falling apart for Newman Grove here. Just,
well, that's going to, based on count here, based on the count, they can, with a strike, they take a big lead. With good count, they will take a single-digit lead. Will Dodge here on the left-hand lane. Can't quite double up, but still a big shot. And you see Justin talking about the importance of 2 pins here. I think that's what he's saying is very important, Megan, here to get us 2 pins because it is a tight game as we head down to the end.
yes. No need to try to convert this split when you're...
And a great job to ensure those 2 pins in that situation to give them 99 total through 7 frames. Now, if they can convert a spare here, can Dodge in the left-hand lane, it will be a 3-pin Dodge lead with a spare working.
Oh, she pulled her.
And just slides by. Boy, key miss. So 101, a 2-pin lead, and now Newman with the chance to take the lead back here with a mark on the right-hand lane by Christina King. This is coming down to the wire, crosses it over, can't get the strike. So
All of these
7 pin left.
All of these shots, Larry, have been right square in the nose, and you're expecting to see what we call the big design in bowling, a big split. But very good break there, leaving the 7. This is really a must-spare situation here. Another open here, even though it would keep the match very close. If Newman Grove wants to set up the 9th and 10th frame for a state championship victory, you need to pick these simple single-pin spares up and jinxed her.
Just slid right by it. So the opportunity to take the lead goes by the wayside, but now a 2-pin difference between Dodge and Newman Grove as we head to the 9th.
The pace is slowed a bit. People begin to think a little more about what they're doing. Pressure increasing. Nice exhale there. Calm the nerves. She gets the ball way out on the lane. Watch how far she lofts it out there.
So Ruskamp with the shot right around the pocket and delivers. What a shot by Kim Ruskamp. And now imperative that Emily Strong marks here in the 9th. Hang on. All right. So just a 3-pin, certainly something she can work with. And wasting no time will be Amanda Vodvarka. Up, and she will waste time because Sandy Eimeyer says, hang on just a second. Let's take a look. And let's let her bowl that 9th frame and figure out what we have to do. And Amanda says, I was just ready to bowl, Coach.
I'm fired up. She wants to get up there
Yeah.
and close the door. Now, with that 9th frame strike, remember in bowling, a strike, you get 10 pins plus the pinfall on your next 2 shots. That's very, very important. That Lariat's got to get way to the
Get
right.
over. Slides by.
May have sealed the fate for
now
Newman Grove.
It is going to come down to the 10th, though, because if Dodge can mark, and Amanda Vodvarka up right here, if she can just mark.
Mark and count is what she needs. Is all she needs, Larry. Right down the middle. Safe shot. Boy, but still.
Some work to do. On a strike, though, so the pin count won't hurt her. Now important here on the right-hand lane for Brooke Nelson to strike. And leaves the single pin. So she can shoot a best 137. So a must spare here on the left-hand lane to retain the lead. Needs this spare. Comes high and gets that 5-pin. So not where she wanted to put it, but she got the break.
She needs 8 pins. 8 pins for Dodge to seal the state championship, but it all rides on the spare here.
Must have the spare and doesn't. And that will deliver the state championship to the Dodge Pirates. And she said, you're fine. Go ahead, relax, make a shot. Sandy Eichmeyer, Andrea Likas. We've been here 4 times, and we finally win one. You see the coaches hugging in the background. And Vodvarka, last shot, and the count will do it. And the final, 143-126. The Dodge Pirates come from behind to knock off Newman Grove. Blue Jays take the first 2. Back come the Pirates, and they win it. In 5, 143-120. So your state champs, the Pirates from Dodge. When we come back, we'll hear from the champs. We'll have the state championship presentation. It's all coming up next on NET.
Time Warner Cable is dedicated to the future of our nation's children. That's why we've launched our Connect a Million Minds initiative. We're asking adults to help us inspire kids through science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're achieving this through local partnerships with FIRST. Across the country, Time Warner Cable employees are helping bring FIRST robotics competitions to the areas we serve. The future of our nation and our children depends on math, science, and technology. Visit connectamillionminds.com to find out what you can do.
I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna feel today, feel today, feel today. I just wanna feel something today. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today.
With the ball, drives right side, throws it up. So welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Class D State Championship is in the books for the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. It was Dodge coming from behind and the Pirates winning 3 straight. 181, they win it 3-2. Let's go down to Steve Simpek.
Thanks, Larry. We are here with Coach Eichmeyer, Coach Likas, and Amanda Vadvarka, the senior on the team. So now tell us what it was like the first 2 trips here and kind of just not getting it done, and what's the difference in your feelings? I mean, obviously you're happy. It was probably the dumbest question in the world to ask, but tell us how you feel, Sandy.
Well, I got to tell you, this is the first time for me as a coach. Otherwise, I was in the stands as the proprietor, so I am so proud of these girls.
That's great. That's great. And you're the only senior. So what? Oh, you have 2. Okay. What was being said after the first couple of games, and you kind of had to rally to get things together? What was talked about back there in the huddle in the settee area?
I told them it's do or die. It's either we go home big or not at all. So we had to come out strong.
Well, I'm sure the parents would have forced us to let the kids go home to Dodge. I mean, I'm sure you would have been allowed back in town. But, well, congratulations. You guys finally get your state championship on the 3rd time. Larry, back to you. Time for Class C.
All right, congratulations to Dodge. The Pirates winning it, knocking off Newman Grove. Now it's time for the awards presentation. And for that, we go down to our public address announcer, Greg Porchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our 2 finalists? And now for our awards presentation, your Class D girls runner-up, the Newman Grove Blue Jays, coached by Justin Ranslam and Tim Kruger. Brooke Nelson. Christina King. Darian Picorni. Emily Strong. Megan Nelson. And here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Newman Grove Blue Jays, your Class D girls runner-up. Now, here's your 2011-2012 Class D Girls Champions, the Dodge Pirates. Coached by Sandy Eichmeyer and Andrea Likas. Alexis Marsh. Amanda Vadvarka. Kim Ruskamp. Paige Holub. And ladies, here's your championship trophy. Again, congratulations to the 2011-2012 Class D Girls Champions.
So congratulations to the Dodge Pirates, your girls Class D state champs coming from behind. They trailed Steve 2-0. That's a tough thing to do, to come back and weather that early storm, win 3 straight and win a state championship.
Like we mentioned, Larry, that we've seen plenty of times when teams are down 2-0 come back to win state titles, and that's exactly what happened. Congratulations to Coach Eichmeyer and Likas. They do a great job there with that program. It's great to see them win on their third straight trip to state.
So the Dodge Pirates state champs in Class D. Coming up next, the Class C state championship showdown. Burwell Ord takes on Wayne. It's coming up next on NET.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Hey, college doesn't just happen. You have to push yourself as you go through high school. Don't be afraid to take classes like Algebra 2, Biology, or a foreign language. They can help raise your ACT score and prepare you for college. I wasn't the smartest kid in high school, but I took the tough classes and I passed. So what are you waiting for? Push yourself over to your counselor's office and sign up for them. They won't be easy, but you'll be glad you did.
Sports programming on NET is made possible by a gift from Harold and Marion Anderson, recognizing the importance of high school and college athletics in Nebraska.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
The first item on today's agenda.
The Nebraska Legislature is back in session, and you can see live gavel-to-gavel coverage on NET2 or by logging on to netnebraska.org/Capitol. Plus, listen weekdays to NET Radio for in-depth reports on what's making news in the Nebraska Legislature. Reaching more people with more choices, watch, listen, or log on to NET and be more informed.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Along with Steve Simpeck, I'm Larry Putney. I want to remind you to grab a DVD of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation State Championships. You can just check out online, NHSBF.com, follow the prompts, and get your copy of these championship memories. Let's take a look at the Burwell Ord lineup. Anique Green is the head coach. Brooke Miller is sophomore. Senior Cody Meyer. Samantha Bowers a junior. Tori Young is a senior. The Wayne Blue Devils, coached by Michael Varley. Burgundy Roberts, Megan Ashoff, Miranda Dinklau, Rachel Waddington, and Sarah Ashoff. That's a look at the starting lineups for the Wayne Blue Devils. It's Ord, Burwell Ord, taking on Wayne when we come back at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
A diesel-powered engine on a farm works hard and operates in a grueling environment. Soy biodiesel fuels stand up to the challenge of powering farm equipment, but are also renewable and environmentally responsible as well. The Nebraska Soybean Board is committed to encouraging the use of soy biodiesel to protect the environment and sustain Nebraska's agriculture. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We'd like to say we have the good life in our state. And for more than 40 years, Nebraska Public Power District has kept the good life running smoothly for Nebraskans. We are driven to go above and beyond with a spirit to provide reliable, affordable electricity with outstanding customer service each and every day. Because in the end, we want to make the good life better for all. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
They're in our world, but they're not part of our world.
We haven't bought into American consumerism.
I think if we want to be a Christian and live a godly life, we have to be submissive.
Obedience is not easy.
The Amish on American Experience.
Tuesday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
Did you know that Nebraska teachers use NET documentaries and online content in the classroom to enhance history and literature curriculum? NET provides services that educate, entertain, and enlighten.
Well, you can discover award-winning national programming and locally produced shows right at your fingertips on NET's video player. Catch the episodes you may have missed and watch your favorite NET programs whenever you want, all on your schedule. And best of all, it's free. Search, select, and share anytime online at video.netnebraska.org. Ready to get underway here, Burwell Ord and the Wayne Blue Devils. This is Brooke Miller to start it off for Burwell Ord. Nice pocket shot, leaves a solid 10-pin for Brooke Miller. So a good start for the ladies from Burwell Ord.
Big grin there. She's like, oh my gosh, first time I'm on television. You're gonna be kidding me. How's my hair look? That's what she's. But that was a great shot right in the pocket.
Yes,
very good shot.
And on the other lane, here's Burgundy Roberts, who also puts it right in the pocket, leaves a 10. So right off the bat, they get a chance at a very difficult spare. Many people would say this is the most difficult single pin spare for them to pick up. Cross lane. And a good conversion by Brooke Miller. And a talented Burwell Ord program.
They've been here many times.
Yes, they have. In fact, they have won 3 of the last 4 championships, looking to make it 4 of the last 5 today. And both squads picking up early 10 pins.
We'll have to talk about the story of how those two teams got combined once we have time here, Larry, about after the state championship in, I do believe, 2006 or 7. 2007, I do believe, is when they won the state championship and went back. And
2008.
2008, that's correct. And the bowling center in Ord burned down the next day after they had their little celebration. And,
good shot by Miranda Dinklau.
Two teams combined, and with both those communities being relatively close by anyway, both communities had bowling centers in each community, Burwell and Ord, with the bowling mainly being held in Ord for the high school team. They combined, bowl out of Burwell, and they have been a regular here on NET for the state championship for bowling for many years.
Hang on, got it. Well, good cover by Miranda Dinklau.
And we've had plenty of participation from Wayne. Wayne's boys winning the Class C title in 2010. Baker family up there in Wayne. His head coach, or as one of the coaches, does a great job. Head coach Mike Barley.
So these girls right around the pocket here early on, Steve. Every shot on the board is a 9 spare to this point. There's a strike. So Ashoff, make that Sarah Ashoff, the senior, with the first strike of this match here in Class C. Burwell Ord Wayne battling for the Class C title. Wayne's first ever trip here, so it's all new to the Blue Devils on the girls' side. The guys have certainly been here before, as you said.
You bet.
And a good conversion by Samantha Bauer. So 9 spare, 9 spare, and 9 spare for Burwell Ord. Wayne working on a strike, looking to make it 2 in a row. And it got it off the wall. Tripped it off the wall, did Rachel Waddington. So Ashoff and Waddington put together a double, and Wayne with an early lead. There's Cody Meyer. Now back on the right-hand lane is Burgundy Roberts. 9 spare last time she was up.
Nice form, low maintenance game. Wow, big
3 in a row. Boy, does that put pressure on the opposing team when you come out of the gates and throw 3 on the board in the first 5 frames.
You need to keep picking up your spares. Not let that get completely at you and get you down, but we've said it many times over the years here, Larry, that spare making is still the key to championships. It's like defense in football. You've got to play good defense to have a chance to stay in games. And in bowling, your best defense against poor scorers is to stay clean, pick your spares up.
So now here's Brooke Miller again. Miller, great pocket shot the first time she was up. That crosses over and gets the strike.
Very good job there looking at her mark on the lane. You see her eyes look at the range finders.
Well, sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other network. For more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, just log on right there, netnebraska.org. In the pocket, trips that 4 forward and leaves just the 9. So a good break by Miranda Dinklau.
What a very nice arm swing, nice release.
The other lane, here's Tori Young. Tori crosses over. That's going to be a difficult conversion. The 3-9-10. The idea there to put it between that 3 and 10, and hopefully with enough angle to carry that 9 off the back.
It's very difficult to convert.
Well, here's Dinklau to the single pin, and she got the reaction. And Dinklau with back-to-back spares and a commanding lead. 1:18 in the 5th for Wayne. So an important spare here early on for Tori Young.
I don't think you and I have that in the 5th frame of our regular league play, Larry.
Oh, that's right. May not have it in the 8th frame, huh?
Nope.
Slides by the conversion there, so 7 split. So back up on the left-hand lane is Sarah Ashoff, and Ashoff with the strike last time she was up. Lofts that ball out there, and another tough lead for Sarah. Boy, they've been clean so far, as Wayne.
Well, that's a tough spare to convert, so here's Burwell's chance to get back in the game here. Carries it from the back row, Larry. It's the bowler's best friend. Carrying it from the back row, kicking the 6 and the 3 and the head pin straight forward. So let's see if this has a little bit of a psychological effect on the girls from Wayne, and it might.
Sarah goes 6-1 after striking it her first time up. Here's Cody Meyer. Cody bowled in the 4th frame last time up. Got 5-4. She leaves the 1-3-6. Did not get the kind and friendly bounce that her teammate did.
Right now, if Wayne can just put some spares on the board, they'll have enough to stay ahead in game number 1 here.
Crosses it over and got it. Strike by Rachel Waddington. Waddington with 2 appearances on the lane and 2 strikes.
It's a good cover there, Larry.
Great cover. So a 7 spare for Cody Meyer. And now back up for Wayne in the left-hand lane, working on a strike. It's Burgundy Roberts. 3rd shot of this first game for Burgundy. Well, you can see her really focused right below on that mark, and another great shot. She's very solid game, this Burgundy. 9 spare strike and now 9 in her 3 appearances on the lane. There's another young lady with a solid game.
Watch her eyes as it stares down her target. Head stays down through the shot.
Needs to go Brooklyn. It does. 6-8.
Right now, both teams just trying to keep the ball in play, as we say in bowling. Try not to let it come off their hand and go towards the gutter for low pin count. And they pick their spares up, but...
So Burgundy just slid that one by, but that will give them 169 in the 9th frame. So not done yet. Burwell Ord needs to convert this and then throw a couple of strikes in the 10th to put some pressure. And just slides it by the 6 pin.
That'll do it there.
Yep. So 132, the best Burwell can have is 162. Wayne already with 169 in the 9th. So game 1 is in the books and goes to Wayne.
Well, as you said earlier, Larry, the Blue Devils have been to state plenty of times with the boys team. First trip here for the girls.
So Wayne Blue Devils will take game 1 over Burwell Ord. And with that in the books, let's take a look at how the singles competition turned out yesterday. Of course, Class C was contested right here at Sun Valley Lanes. It was Kaylee Hodgett of Donovan winning the overall championship in the singles competition. Then the next 2 are from Burwell Ord, which you see here today on the lanes, Brooke Miller and Tori Young. Brett Jewell finished 4th from North Bend, and Wakefield's Kayleen Roberts with a 472. That will be your first team all-state, all-tournament team. And then the next 5, Allison Hansen from North Bend, Miranda Dinklau, who we see here, and a couple of Boone Central, Shelby Schaefer, and Saki Masuno from Boone Central, and Kayla Hurd from Donovan with a 446. So the way it works is obviously all the teams bowl qualifying yesterday. They bowl 4 games to get ready for today's championship match, and those are your individual 3-game champions.
Similar to golf, where you have team championships and also have your singles medalists. Finishing out the 10th frame here, Burwell with a strike here for potential 152. They did close the gap.
Yep.
I think we're going to see a really competitive next couple of games here. I don't think it's going to be a runaway for Wayne. Well, they bowled very well. 189 in Baker's a great score, Larry.
So 189 for the Blue Devils and 151 for Burwell Ord. There's your final, and Wayne takes game number 1 in this best-of-5 Baker competition format.
Teams will switch back and start over. In Baker bowling, you have the opportunity to adjust your lineup. You can change the order of your players at the beginning of each game. Looks like Coach Farley elects to stay the same. Off the Burgundy.
Right off the bat, Burgundy Roberts off of that 9 open comes back with her 2nd strike of the match.
Watch her eyes down on her target. Very good job. Comes through the shot. I think she's just getting a little fast. The adrenaline might begin to get going there as Brooke just kind of rushed the line just a touch. This is a very good classic form. Straight arm swing, comes up through the ball right around that second arrow area of the lane, and
really bowling well as Wayne right now. Start off with the double in game number 2.
It's a great shot there by Megan. Brooke on the spare here.
Good cover by Brooke Miller. So now into the game on the left-hand lane for the Blue Devils is Megan Ashoff. This will be her first shot. She's trying everything she can do not to smile. Feeling the pressure, crosses it over and leaves that 3-pin.
And I think this might be indicative of some of the smaller schools and the smaller classes. You see a lot of, especially in the ladies, you see a lot of, when they release the ball, you see that arm snap through. I'm sure we have several multi-sport players here. Almost
nearly got it.
Got the comebacker again. You can see it in softball players, the same thing. You see it a lot in volleyball also, that same whipping of the arm, even though in volleyball it would be an overhand motion. In softball it would be overhand when you throw, but if you're a pitcher, that's indicative right there.
You can tell Megan enjoying herself. 9 spare for Megan Ashoff.
Well, we have great support with plenty of the schools and how they help us support high school bowling here in Nebraska. And good cover. I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing themselves on DVD, or if they're taping it at home. Do we say tape anymore? We record it now,
we DVR,
right?
don't we? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah.
We DVR.
Here's Waddington. Waddington has been up twice and struck twice. Waddington right around the pocket again. Can't quite get the 7 to go this time. She's been solid, though. So now back up on the right-hand lane for Burwell Ord, Samantha Bauer. Bauer last time got that 6-3-1 to come in the backside. A little errant there and picks off 3 on the left-hand side.
Well, I think it's apparent that the ladies are noticing there's quite a bit of oil conditioner in the center of the lane, Larry. So they're trying to steer it towards the head pin a little bit, just like on that shot cross lane there. Try to steer it a little more towards that 7 pin. By doing that, sometimes you can oversteer a little bit and pull it. So she'll just need to go right down the center of the lane, relax, just like throwing a strike. Just like that. Oh, just a bit.
Yep. So the first open there of this game number 2 for Burwell Ord. Wayne with the open in the 4th, still with a 27-pin advantage. And here's Burgundy Roberts again. First time Burgundy has missed the pocket today.
Burgundy got a little quick there. When she got to the line, she Did what we call standing up or rearing up at the line, where you pop up and go upright. You come out of your slide and stand up. When you do that, you have a tendency to miss your mark. That's a good shot there by Burwell Ord.
Cody Meyer with the strike. So Cody's gone spare strike her last 2 appearances. That's a big one, too, on top of the open. Back-to-back opens now by the Blue Devils. 5-1 count. This could open the door. This could be a very big strike here for Burwell Ord if Brooke Miller can deliver.
Put him in the lead with a strike here.
Tugged it a bit.
She knew it when she let go.
She has some work yet to do.
That's not the easiest spare, the 1, 3, 8, and 9. She'll need to play just off of her strike target. Put that ball right in between the 1 and the 3. Hopefully the head pin carries out the 8 and the ball carries out the 3 and the 9. She'll go right to the left of the second arrow, Larry. Right about there. Good shot. Oh, tough break.
Needed it to be just a bit higher and slid by that 8 pin and left the 8. So a 6-1 for Brooke Miller. Hey, reminder, you can preserve the 2012 Nebraska High School Girls and Boys Bowling Championships with a DVD copy offered by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Last week the boys, this week the girls. For your copy, just log on to NHSBF.com. Stands for Nebraska High School Bowling Federation.com, NHSBF.com. Follow the prompts and you can get a copy and preserve these memories for an entire lifetime.
Do you have all 9 of our DVDs, Larry? Have you and I together?
I have a complete set, absolutely.
I would be disappointed if it was any less than that.
Tough break there as she leaves a 5-10 on a pocket shot. Just a little weak in the pocket. A little light. Now trying to convert a 3-10 and nearly got it, but not quite. Really wanted that one.
Big smile. She thought she had it. We've seen this made in the Class D match prior to this. This is the 5-10. Ball needs to go to the left of the 5. Slide the 5 over in the 10. It's got a chance. Nope, just slid a little too much.
Back up now in the right-hand lane is Megan Ashoff.
See her throws it a little straighter than the girls at Hook and More. Right down the center of the lane, a lot of loft. Just threw it a little too hard there, but good break, leaving the head pin.
Should be a routine spare conversion.
Needs to be absolutely right, Larry. Spare conversions from here on out.
Here's Samantha Bauer. Bauer trying to clip the head pin. 2-4-5 conversion coming for her. Now Megan Ashoff, the junior, headed to Wayne State.
Right across the street from the bowling center. It literally is. It's up the block a little ways.
So a good conversion.
Well, this is obviously tighter this round, this game than game number 1. Good spare there. Keeps Burwell within about 13, 14 pins.
7 spare for Samantha Bauer. Now Rachel Waddington, who had 2 strikes early on, and has her third strike of the match for Waddington.
Gives Wayne a 24-pin lead. Need a strike here from Burwell Ord. And gets it.
Got it. Cody Meyer comes through. Her 2nd strike of the match. So trying to keep pace down by 14. 98-112. Wayne on top, and Wayne leading 1-0. Burgundy Roberts now.
Slower approach there, Larry. Better shot.
Left the 4-pin, but a better shot.
She stayed down through that shot. She didn't rush as fast. Kept the ball in play.
So now here's Brooke Miller. Brooke trying to get the 5-pin out, just behind with the messenger.
Good spare.
Nice conversion by Burgundy Roberts. And now Brooke Miller will try to keep pace. A very important spare here to stay close. Staying on, got it. So it's going to come down to our anchor bowlers with a 14-pin advantage. And Burwell is going to have to throw a couple of strikes up there to force Wayne to mark.
Wayne's done a good job of picking their spares up, staying in the game. Great shot. Larry, that's a good example of the conditioner on the lane. She's a little further outside or to the right, closer to the gutter than most of the kids are playing now. And that ball hit that dry area out around the first arrow on the lane, the fifth board to the right, and that ball came roaring back into the pocket for a strike. Good shot there, though. It's just not going to be enough as potential 157 for Burwell with a spare and a strike, and Wayne is already in the 160s or more. Look at that, right down that
right
first
off the
arrow.
corner, yep. Got it! Tripped it off the wall. 2, 4, 5, and out. Love the pin action here at Sun Valley Lanes.
It's always been very high scores here at the state finals. Lane's very well maintained here, and proprietor John Lucido does a great job of making sure it's optimum scoring.
And also doing a great job for high school bowling across the state is John Lucido and all of our proprietors, including yourself, Mr. Simpek, of Simpek Lanes in Omaha, Elkhorn, near Omaha.
Well, we, you know, as a business owner, it's our future customers, so it's important to us to keep high school bowling growing, and we host 4 high school teams at our bowling center now, 5 actually now, wow. With Bennington coming in as a new Class B school, and it just continues to grow, Larry, all across the state, more teams every year. Well, the thing with Burwell Ord is they stayed close.
Yep.
And they didn't really beat themselves that game. They had a couple of opens there in the middle in the 5th and 6th frame that hurt them a little bit, but they're down 2-0.
Yep.
But we saw that earlier in the Class D match where Dodge came back from being down 2-0 to win the state championship. So never say never. Just keep going. It's not like a football game or a basketball game where you got to make up a bunch of points. You move on. It's a whole new start here, and what the ladies from Burwell Ord want to do is come out fast with a strike.
So right off the bat, Brooke Miller. And up on the left-hand lane is Burgundy Roberts.
Now watch Burgundy as she lets go of the ball. She stays down. She stood up just a little bit there, but it was a much slower approach. Kept the ball in play, shook her head. She knew that she pulled it a little bit, but she got a little fast there the last game, and that caused an error by her. 5 in the 9, right down the middle, strike target.
A good cover by the sophomore, who averages 148 for Burwell Ord. We talked about the history of Burwell Ord in these championships. They've won 3 of the last 4 state championships. They won it in 2007, 8, 9. Make it 8, 9, 10. Last year, Norfolk Catholic won it, and back here again in the championship is Burwell Ord. Tori Young now. Man, just a little high.
And that was a good shot. That was a very good shot. That ball just got nosy a little bit at the end there, leaving the old super spare, the 4, 7, 9, and 10. She'll need to go after 2.
Miranda Dinklau now tugs it a bit, gets away with it, leaves 8.
So when she let go of the ball, it hung on her hand a little bit. The ball went left. Getting 2 here is optimum. Save count. And that's very well done.
So a good cover. Wondering how these 2 teams made it to the state championship. Burwell Ord in the semifinals knocked off Wakefield 3-1. Wayne beat Plainview 3-1 and covers the spare. Both of these teams winning 2 matches yesterday in the stepladder finals. Burwell Ord also beat Shadron, and Wayne Also knocking off Ravenna to make it here to the state championship match. Back on the lane now for the Blue Devils is Sarah Ashoff. Sarah bowled in game 1 and then was subbed out for her sister in game 2, Megan. She went strike 6-1 in her previous 2 and comes in a little high and leaves the split.
Well, I think it's good strategy, Larry. There's nothing wrong with giving people some extra time in this pressure-filled setting of being on television, obviously, and having all your peers at school be a chance to see you. And if you have an opportunity to sub in for a chance to throw a few extra strikes, it's not a bad idea. Another tough split, the 4, 6, 7. You're going to go after 2, just like that. Well coached.
So Cody Meyer back up on lane 27 on the left-hand lane. Cody struck her last time up. And again, so back-to-back strikes for Cody Meyer. It's an 11-pin Wayne advantage, so every big shot like that Burwell Ord certainly needs.
Her last 2 strikes, her expression has not changed one bit. She is up there all business.
Just a bit light. Now back up on the left-hand lane, Brooke Miller.
Strike here will give Burwell Ord the first lead they've had in quite some time.
Get up and leaves a 5-pin, but a nice shot right around the pocket. Burwell Ord coached by Anique Green, Lori Myers, head coach and the assistant, both bowlers themselves. That's a tough chop.
Tough break.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
That was a good shot. Typically don't see the 1 chopped off of the 2
right
very often, right?
Nope. Spare here gives Burwell Ord their first lead. Oh.
9 open. And now Wayne with an opportunity to extend a single-digit lead into double digits. And she pulled it a bit. Good break in getting the 8-pin out. 9-pin, I'm sorry.
Got rid of
Fell behind it, yep.
Got rid of the double wood. Makes the spare a lot easier.
So 1-3-6 left here for Burgundy Roberts.
Larry, we talked earlier about the history and how many years we've done this on TV here on NET and all the different teams we've had. You look at the banners there in the background. It's just been a great history. A lot of schools and continues to grow.
I want to remind you can download our new NET Radio Nebraska mobile app and listen live to NET Radio's news classical or news jazz stations wherever you are. So pause, rewind the live audio, and you can look for the free app at the iTunes or Android app markets. And a big shot there by the Blue Devils and Miranda Denklau.
Miranda's the vocal leader of the team.
And also in that all-important anchor spot.
Burwell Ord needs to answer now with a strike of their own. And they get it.
They got it. What a shot. That was an important one by Tori Young. She has back-to-back strikes.
Just a 1-pin lead now for Wayne, Larry.
Here's Sarah Ashoff again. Tug just a little bit. And a real opportunity now for Burwell Ord, and you never know what moment in a match like this can really turn momentum. Wayne has controlled momentum. They've controlled the match. They lead 2-0. But a big double here and taking the lead could flip that momentum. Nearly got it.
It's a big break, though.
That is a good break. Absolutely.
Big break. Exhales, nice grin there. And I think if Wayne can remain clean, they're going to have an advantage here. But that's a tough spare, and I think if you had to judge the momentum meter, right now it's beginning to shift a little bit back to Burwell Ord.
Well, they will if they pick this up, extend a lead to double digits. And it just slides by. So we are after 7 frames, and we have a 3-pin advantage for Burwell Ord, which is down 2 games to none here in this best of 5 state championship in Class C. There's Rachel Waddington, who's just been money today, and Waddington a little high. Leaves the 6-10.
Kept the ball in play, though. Leaves an easy spare. This young lady's working on her 3rd strike in a row.
Let's see if Cody Meyer can stay hot.
Right down the middle, low maintenance game.
Got it! 3 in a row for Cody Meyer.
There's a smile.
Big shot there. Now that really makes this spare conversion by the Lady Blue Devils that much more important. And it slides by. Well, drop 2 in a row here for Burwell Ord, and it could give them their first game win.
Strike here, Larry would just about seal it up.
Good shot.
Oh, a tough break.
Boy, that is a tough break. 5-7 on a pocket shot is tough. So now, turn the page over to Burgundy Roberts, and Roberts with a chance to pull her team right back into it.
Jump on this opportunity.
Goes high and leaves double wood or double pinochle. 4-6-7-10.
5-7 split here for Brooke Miller.
This also slides by. So we're going to go down to the anchor bowlers. We're going to the 10th frame here, and it's going to be a tight one. Important to get 2 here and keep it. And she does.
Well, a mark by Burwell Ord will pretty much seal it up. The best Wayne can bowl now is 132. That's with 3 strikes in the 10th frame. Burwell with a strike spare or spare strike can shoot 135. So a mark and some count here by Burwell Ord, and they will win game 3.
Tori Young right down the middle and gets the 7-pin out. Boy, was that key. Wow. So this gives her an opportunity to spare and get at least 8 to shut him out. Must have this strike. Wayne doesn't get it.
She's gonna get the cherry.
Got it! Whoa! Across the deck. Carries the 4.
Now, Larry, you know, you wonder how this affects.
Right.
How this will affect
Tori Young here?
Yes. She needs to just calm down, get the spare, which she did. Great shot.
Good cover by Tori Young.
Going to be enough, most likely.
Well, she still has to get some count, I believe. So 8 pins to win, 7 potentially could tie if a strike is thrown here.
Must strike.
By Dinklau. Has to have it. Nope. So it's enough. So Burwell, after losing games 1 and 2, comes back to take game number 3 over the Blue Devils. And we talked about that momentum shift, and we've seen it before. We saw it in our last match. Dodge led 2 games to none. Sorry, Newman Grove led 2 games to none. Dodge won that all-important 3rd game, created a little bit of momentum. They won 3 in a row, and Dodge took home the Class D state championship in our first match of the day. And a good cover there. So the final here in this game number 3 will be Burwell Ord 132, Wayne 122. And Burwell Ord now down 2 games to 1, but with new life. You can see Michael Varley, Dusty Baker chatting it over with their team. There's Anique Green and her Burwell Ord squad.
A couple of years ago when they were combined co-opted with a 3rd school, Arcadia, they were the Boa Girls.
That's right.
Remember those days? That was a
All
lot of
pink.
fun.
Yep.
Yep. Can't get a technical foul called on you, though, in bowling if you wear a pink uni, so.
That's right.
Need to be topical in these
Very-
broadcasts.
very
there,
timely, yes, very
broadcast
timely.
partner.
Well, wasn't that a few weeks ago?
Yes.
I'm not sure how timely that
Yes.
is.
Well, it's still topical.
Good shot right in the pocket, leaves a 10 pin. So a good start by Brooke Miller. Brooke's been solid. She's been around the pocket. Good leadoff for Burwell Ord. She also bowls in that next to last spot, and Burgundy Roberts with a 6-3 count. So after a hot start for Burgundy, she's had trouble finding the pocket the last couple of times.
Cross lane at the 10, needs to kill the shot.
Just slides by. We talked about how difficult that can be, and even more so in a pressure situation.
I think that obviously for a right-hander, that's the toughest spare on the lane to make.
I'll go with the 17. Great ball. Pocket shot by Miranda Dinklau, and she's beginning to warm up. She's had 4 strikes on the day. Just 1 open when she missed a single pin and 9 whiff. But other than that, 9 spare, strike, 8 spare, strike. Dinklau bowling well. She's a junior, averages 166, and that needs to get the 10 out, and it does. Just got the 10 out, did Tori Young. So here's Megan Ashoff. Megan back in for game number 4. She bowled in game 2. Her sister Sarah bowled in games 1 and 3. Needs to climb the hill, gets 5.
Everybody's starting to exhale a little bit. Beginning to figure out that this is getting close. 5 in the 8, right down the center of the lane.
Oh, just got that. The head pin or the 5 pin? It was a 5 pin. Got the 5-8 there. Just got the 5 pin.
That was the biggest exhale of all there after that shot.
Yeah, it's a big one for Burwell as well after opening in the first. Need some count here. Get up. Ooh. Oh, nice shot. Just didn't quite carry all of them. So in the first 3 frames, Wayne has opened up the door. They've opened twice, and a chance now for Burwell to take the lead with a mark here by Samantha Bauer. Bauer, 1-3-6.
Spare here will make it basically a tie game, Larry.
Waddington crosses over, leaves the 1-3-6 as well.
This is the 1-3-6. Just like you're going to throw your strike shot. Just slid by just a touch. Same applies here.
Yep. Waddington, can she convert? No, she chops the 1. So combined, they would have had a pretty good conversion. But it's up now, Cody Meyer. Meyer, as we said, she's been hot, 3 strikes in a row. The senior is headed to college next year. Not sure where she's going, but would like to be a hairstylist. Leaves the 4 pin. Now up on the left-hand lane is Burgundy Roberts again. Burgundy also a senior. She's headed to South Dakota State next year to study microbiology. I suppose she does pretty well in school. What do you think?
Sounds hard. It's got a hook, Larry.
Ooh, just slid by. Looked good off the hand, but it just continued to slide.
We're seeing nerves and the thought of winning or losing a state championship begin to affect people's ability to hit their targets. That's a good cover there. Oh, ooh. Tough break.
So neither team wants to take charge here. They've both opened all but 1 frame in the first 5. You see Burwell Ord's mark came in the second, as did Wayne's. Other than that, it hasn't been pretty. There's a 3 pin, so this should be a routine spare for Brooke Miller, and a routine spare that would give her team the lead. As we said, Brooke has been right around the pocket and picked up her spares.
Well, that's needed now. Is got to figure out a way to get out in front and then hang on to your lead. A lot of open frames now have kind of marred this third game.
And a good cover by Brooke Miller, the sophomore for Burwell Ord from Ord High School. Hey, reminder, facebook.com/NET Sports. You can become a fan, leave comments, questions, and find out what goes on behind the scenes. And you can follow us on NET Sports as well. It's fast, fun, and easier than ever to be part of our statewide sports network. Facebook.com/NET Sports. And what a shot. So Dinklau, that's 3 in a row for her. She's got 5 strikes.
That's why she's in that 6-frame spot, Larry. She'll come up again in the 10th, and it might be enough to win a state championship for her.
Wayne with only 2 marks in this game, both strikes, both from Dinklau. Right back at you, says Tori Young. Tori also had the mark back in the 2nd frame, so the 2 anchor bowlers performing well here for their respective teams. And now an important shot by Megan Ashoff on the strike. Little right again, needs some count. Got 5, so back-to-back 5-pin counts for Ashoff.
Saw her just rush the line a little bit when she let go of the ball, Larry. Her arm went to the right, causing that ball to go with it.
Last time up, Samantha Bauer got 9, and she does again this time. Leaves a 5-pin. Let's see if she can convert this time around. So here's Megan Ashoff, the junior, also, as we said, wants to study education at Wayne State.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Hitting that head pin caused that to.
So gets 3 of the 5.
Big spare here.
Very big. Hang on, and she's got it. That extends that lead. Could be up by as many as 20 based on count.
In order for this to not go to game number 5, Wayne needs a strike right here. Chance to stay in it, keep a little bit of pressure on Burwell Ord.
Not bad, still in it. Waddington with the 9. Important ball here now by Cody Meyer. And Cody with the 9 count.
She just literally only breaks the ball, only hooks the ball just a couple of boards, a couple of inches. She's always right around that head pin. You know you're going to hit the head pin and get your share of head pin splits, but boy, you're just not going to have a lot of trouble if you're just in that area. And that's where she's been.
Needs to get up. Got it. All right, so a big conversion there for Wayne as they try to climb their way back in. And now an important spare as well for Cody Meyer on this left-hand lane. She missed her single pin last frame. This frame, she got it.
Keeps them up by about 24, Larry.
Yep. So in very good position with 2 frames left. It's going to be very important for Wayne to either string a couple here or get some help from Burwell Ord. Here's Burgundy Roberts. After a hot start, Burgundy Roberts really has had trouble finding the pocket. Last 4 shots now, she's had 7, 6, and 6, and then 6 again here.
She came back off the approach after that shot and asked Coach Varley, what am I doing? What am I doing? Well, he signaled with bringing her arm across the front of her body. She needs to go straight up, let go of the ball, straight up to the ceiling, just like that.
So the 4-7 now for Brooke Miller, but
an open frame here, Larry, by the Wayne Blue Devil ladies are going to force this next game. But that's a good cover. Very good.
Great
Keeps
shot.
them there.
So now an important shot for Brooke Miller. If Miller can convert this, it'll be very difficult for Wayne to get back in it in the 10th. It's going to be difficult either way, but this will at least give him a chance. Ooh, she slides by.
All right,
so 129, 115, a 14-pin advantage heading in. It's important for Miranda Dinklau here to throw the first. And by the way, Dinklau right now has thrown 3 in a row.
Strike here cuts the lead to 4. That's a good shot.
Get up. Leaves the 6'10". So
I'm sorry, Larry. Going to have to rely on some help now from Burwell to have a chance here. Best score 133 for Wayne. Basically, Burwell just needs to keep the ball in the lane.
Yep.
And that's good enough.
We'll do it. So a great job by Tori Young. 7 pins will send us to a deciding 5th game. So, Steve, we've had 2 girls matches here, Class D and C, and we're going to our 5th in both.
Well, you know, that brings our per hour rate of what we get paid to an all-time low. But this is great. I mean, this is great competition. And, you know, I think if the girls were asked if they wanted to bowl another 2 out of 3 after this, they'd probably all say yes.
Yep. Chopped the one, but they've got enough. So they will win game number 4, 137 to 122. Wayne with back-to-back 122s, Steve, after opening up 189, 179, and much more consistent for Burwell Ord. 151, 157, 132, 137. So all tied at 2, and it all comes down to this. The final, 5th and final game. Winner takes home the state championship.
This is where you've got to play air-free.
3 on the right side. 3-5-6, not an easy conversion. Here's Burgundy Roberts. Let's see if she will listen to coach. Finishes high, much better follow through, and a much better result.
Better shot. Shook her head yes at that. Arm went straight up on the release instead of across the front of her body.
Turned to her coach. So yeah, you were right. That's what I was doing wrong. I just the hook. Nope. So Brooke Miller with the 7-2. And Burwell Ord, after being down 2-0, comes back to win the next 2, and they open here to start the 5th. And a good cover by Burgundy Roberts. So now up on the left lane is Tori Young.
Good shot there of her watching her mark. Keeps her eyes on the rangefinders on the lane. Good shot.
Yep. 5-8 remaining.
A lot of high school aged bowlers, especially ladies, will use a lighter ball, a ball that will be somewhere maybe around 12 to 14 pounds. Even see some throwing 10-pound balls. Nothing wrong with that. You just lose a little bit of carry through the pins. Heavier the ball. You know, Larry, when you're in the bowling business, you see people try to throw the ball as hard as they can. They think it's going to knock more pins down, and it certainly makes them fly around a lot. But you're better off throwing the heaviest ball you can throw without making your game, be less accurate. You will gain that in pin carry at the pin deck area if you can try to muscle your way through a heavier ball. Cross lane at the 9. Excuse me, the 6. Well done. She made a little ball change there.
So conversion by Tori Young and Miranda Dinklau on both sides.
10-pin lead now for Wayne. Burwell can cut into it with a strike, make it even. Neil, good ball, and it was a good ball, just right on the head of right on the head pin, and 7-10. At this point, you need to get 1 pin. No need to try to be the hero and do something where you virtually have no chance. Get that 1 pin and gain that count.
Sarah Ashoff in the pocket. Her 2nd strike of the match.
So here's where Anique Green, the Burwell Ord coach, needs to just tell the girls to relax, take a breath, get your 1 pin here, which looks like they're going to. Very good.
A bit of reassurance and reassessment. There's still plenty of time despite now being down by 20+ pins. Still plenty of time here in this 5th game. So here's Waddington again.
But a double here will put them out in front by quite a bit. It's got a chance.
Waddington gets the 4th pin to go forward. Trip 4 for Rachel Waddington. And a great reaction by Rachel.
This young lady has thrown 3 out of the last 4 frames it strikes.
And she does answer. Great answer by Cody Meyer. So Meyer with 4 strikes in the last 6 frames.
Keeps them hanging around.
So back up on the right lane. Burgundy Roberts, see if she figured it out. Good, nice high follow through again. Great result, leaves the 5-pin.
23-pin lead for Wayne now can be cut to 13 if Burwell Ord can double here in the 5th frame. Final game. It's a good shot, Larry.
Got it. Yes! Big ball. Great shot by Brooke Miller.
She comes up. If you watch a lot of the Nebraska collegiate ladies throw the ball, when they let go of that ball, that wrist or that elbow hinges and goes straight up for maximum power.
Yep, good cover.
13-pin lead now for a 12-pin lead now for Wayne going in the last half.
Burwell working on the double. So there you see it there, 88 in the 4th for Wayne. With this strike in the 6th by Burwell, they could cut it. Boy, what a solid shot by Dinklau. She's just been money.
It might have been a state championship shot right there.
4 of her last 5 shots, Steve, have been strikes.
That's why she's in that anchor position. She'll come up again in the 10th frame. Must mark at least a strike, really help him out, but a mark is really needed.
Mix him up, got it! The weak crossover mixer carries the 5-10, and Burwell with 3 in a row and back in it.
12-pin lead still for Wayne.
Now Ashoff needs to answer.
It's got a chance.
Get up! All right, plenty of room here. As long as they can continue to make spares, Wayne should be in good shape. Burwell tries to keep the pressure on right here with Samantha Bauer.
Strike here will make this match virtually even. Tough spare, Larry. The 138 and the 129 on the opposite lane. So now we'll see how accuracy is going to come into play in this match.
Get up! Just missed her. Sarah gets 2.
Excuse me, 136 in the 7th.
This is still a tight game, especially with a spare here.
Spare here will bring them within 4.
And a great cover. Nice, solid shot. So despite coming out of the gate with marks in their first 5 frames by Wayne and a double, Burwell has come back with 3 in a row and a mark to nearly even this game up.
Wayne up by 3 right now, Larry.
3-10, tough conversion. Certainly makeable, but a spare in which you have to be very accurate to make.
Well, lo and behold, here comes Cody Meyer, who has thrown 4 of the last 6 strikes.
Right down the middle goes Meyer again. Oh,
tough break.
And not a bad shot, Steve. That wasn't typically your heavy head pin split. That was a Brooklyn shot that could have easily carried.
Well, this spare here by Wayne, if she can convert, will go
hard way. Got it.
That may have done it right there, Larry. That's going to give them about a 14, 15-pin lead with a spare working. Now she has to try for this spare. Cody Meyer is going to have to try and pick this up somehow, some way.
Big 3-10, said hard way. That means she went outside the 3-pin to kick it into the 10. She gets 2, does Cody Meyer.
15-pin lead, Larry, right now going into the foundation 9th.
Still plenty of time, but Wayne can keep the pressure on here with Burgundy Roberts.
Stood up on that one again.
Didn't stay down through it and got 5. Not done yet, folks. Brooke Miller, who struck last time up.
She needs to strike. Strike will bring him back within 2.
Has a chance. Got it! Smashed him. Just a straight snowplow right down the middle and squashed them all out of the way.
All right, now Burgundy Roberts, needs this spare.
Pretty good shot. Good cover.
Giant.
Boy, we are having some play under pressure here.
Made the comment Wayne shot 122 last game. They have a chance for 201 in Baker, which is great bowling. Now, the way things stack up right now, it's a 12-pin lead. This will virtually tie the match with a strike. It's got a chance.
Hang on. Get it. Does it? Still trying to spin around and get it. Just sat and spun and didn't quite kick that 9-pin out of there. So now Dinklau, who's been so solid all day, steps up on the 10.
It's a tough
Leaves
spare.
a 4 on the left.
167 in the 9th for Wayne. Possible 187. Possible 179 for Burwell. So
must spare here.
This has to be a conversion.
Get
Larry,
out
she
there.
pulled it. She pulled it.
That'll do it.
Sunk the ship.
That will do it. So the Wayne Blue Devils will take home their first state championship and their first ever appearance in the state finals.
She got the spare
And it's good that she made it anyway
Would've
because
been academic.
makes it irrelevant, which is good to know.
Well, it's that was a lot of fun. That was great excitement. You saw some clutch strikes, clutch spares. Both teams need to be proud of the job they did, and this young lady right here has a great outlook in bowling. She throws the ball very well.
Yep. So outstanding finish by the Wayne Blue Devils, and they take home the Class C state championship, winning it in the 5th and final 185-167. When we come back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, we'll hear from the state champs and we'll have the trophy presentations as well. Stay with us.
Many years ago, when I was about 8 years old, I got the opportunity to watch a box turtle behind my house lay her eggs. And watching that turtle go through all that effort, it just piqued my curiosity, and I wanted to learn more and read more. My entire job is science. I want children to get connected with science and utilize the technology and the engineering abilities, because each one of us has the ability to change the world.
To find out what you can do to inspire a young person, visit connectamillionminds.com.
I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna feel today, feel today, feel today. I just wanna feel something today. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today.
America. America is 300 million people who turn on the lights every morning. 300 million people on the move. There are 300 million mouths to feed. How does it all get done? I'm Yul Kwan. Join me as we see why making life easy is harder than it looks. This is America Revealed.
Coming in April to NET1.
As you and I enjoy another exciting NET sports program, I'd like to personally thank over 2,000 members of our Sports Partners Club for your generous financial support. From the Panhandle to the Missouri River and every county in between, individual supporters are investing in NET sports. And for that, we're very grateful. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Wayne, your Class C girls state champion, winning the 5th 185-167. Let's go to Steve Simpek with the champs.
Thanks, Larry. I've got Coach Mike Varley and Miranda Danklau. First state championship for the girls. Now you got a trophy to match the boys. You had 4 out of 6, a stretch in the middle of the match. We had 4 out of 6 strikes. So when you were up there and you were thinking about continuing to try to strike, did you notice the lanes changing? Did you do anything different as the lanes began to change?
Oh, I just tried to hit my mark every time and hope that I hit it. Sometimes I'd push, sometimes I'd pull, but I just trying my hardest. The lanes basically stayed the same.
Well, that's great. Coach, what do you think about having a trophy now to match the boys?
I like it a lot. It was a little nerve-wracking, though. Might have got a few extra gray hairs today, I don't know, but wish we would have won it in 3, but 5 it was exciting, so we'll be back here next year to defend our title.
That's great. Well, congratulations to the Lady Blue Devils, our champions for Class C. Back to you, Larry.
All right, thanks very much, Steve, and what an outstanding performance by those Lady Blue Devils. And now for the trophy presentations for our champions and the runner-up medalists, let's go to our public address announcer, Greg Porchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our 2 finalists. Now for the awards presentation, your Class C girls runner-up, the ladies from Burwell, Ord, coached by Anique Green and Lori Mayers. Brooke Miller. Cody Meyer. Samantha Bauer. Tori Young. And ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the ladies of Burwell, Ord, your Class C girls runner-up. Now here's your 2011-2012 Class C girls champions, the Blue Devils from Wayne. Coached by Michael Varley and Dusty Baker. Burgundy Roberts. Megan Ashoff. Miranda Dangclow. Rachel Waddington. And Sarah Ashoff. And ladies, here is your championship trophy. Congratulations to the 2011-2012.
So congratulations to those ladies, your state champs in Class C. They did it, Steve, in scores of 189, 179, and 185 in their win. So when they won, they scored big.
Great shot making. It came down to clutch strikes and clutch spare shooting also, and a couple of split conversions too in there also, Larry, to help out.
So that's a wrap for the Class C girls. When we come back, we head to Class B. Pius X, the Thunderbolts, taking on Waverly for a state title. Stay with us.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Hey, college doesn't just happen. You have to be a pain, in a good way. Find someone to help you, like your mom, dad, teacher, or coach. Keep asking until you find someone who will. There were adults in my life who made sure I took the right classes in high school, helped me apply for scholarships and research colleges. Someone will help you too. You just have to ask. This is the one time it's okay to be a pain.
NET Sports is on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/NET Sports to get all the latest NET Sports updates. While you're there, comment on our wall, watch highlights from all our live events, see our upcoming schedule, and check out our in-depth background features.
I cried over there last year. Yeah, that was me.
Ironically, the tallest member of the Husker squad.
It's all on facebook.com/NET Sports.
Sports programming on NET is made possible by a gift from the Dr. Barbara Hibner Estate, inspiring young Nebraska athletes to strive for their fullest potential.
With the ball, drives right side, throws it up.
And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Time now for the Class B Girls State Championship showdown between the Waverly Vikings and the Lincoln Pius X Thunderbolts. I want to remind you, if you'd like a DVD of these Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships, you can get that by logging on to NHSBF.com. Follow the prompts and order your DVD. It's a memory that you want to have for a lifetime. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams, the Vikings of Waverly, the Thunderbolts from Lincoln Pius X. Pius X, coached by Tyler Putney in his 4th year as the head coach. Brooke Putney, the only senior on this team. Jess Lears is a junior. Kelly Mahacek, a sophomore. Megan Straub, an outstanding freshman for this Bolts team. Kaylee Peterson and Katie Peterson, also members of this squad. Now let's take a look at Waverly. The Vikings led by Tracy Donovan. Brooke Oxner is a freshman and a good one. Lizzie Donovan, a junior. Olivia Woolburn is a sophomore. Paige Hickey, a senior. Freshman Peyton Johnson. Sarah Campbell, a senior. And Tristan Menser is a sophomore. Should be a good one coming up. A Class B state championship showdown between the Lincoln Pius X Thunderbolts and the Waverly Vikings. Both of these squads, first time in the arena finals. Both of these teams looking for state championships. We'll have all the action when we come back on NET Sports.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
America's export of soybeans helps the U.S. maintain a positive agricultural trade balance. Nebraska contributes half of its soybeans for export. The protein and oil content in soybeans enhance the growing demand for higher protein diets. The Nebraska Soybean Board promotes research to develop new soybean varieties with higher protein and oil content for major agricultural markets. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We'd like to say we have the good life in our state. And for more than 40 years, Nebraska Public Power District has kept the good life running smoothly for Nebraskans. We are driven to go above and beyond with a spirit to provide reliable, affordable electricity with outstanding customer service each and every day. Because in the end, we want to make the good life better for all. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Hello, I'm Jeff Beckman. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank thousands of Nebraskans who have contributed generously to our Inspire Nebraska campaign in recent years. Through your support, you show how much you value educational programming and embrace the rich history and culture of Nebraska. Thank you.
They're in our world, but they're not part of our world.
We haven't bought into American consumerism.
I think if we want to be a Christian and live a godly life, we have to be submissive.
Obedience is not easy.
The Amish on American Experience.
Tuesday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
So welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Class B state championship. The Pius X Thunderbolts taking on the Waverly Vikings. Should be a good one here at Class B. Both teams just finishing up practice, getting ready for competition. Want to remind you sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other network. For more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, you can log on to netnebraska.org/sports. Well, another perennial power here in Class B. The Lincoln Pius Thunderbolts have never won a state championship. In fact, both of these teams making their first ever trip into the arena finals.
Interesting, because both teams are so strong in Class B. I mean, they rocket through the regular season in districts and get to state, and you know, it's just a testament of how weird things can happen when you get to state. So, but this will be tremendous bowling, folks. You are in for a treat with these two teams.
Here's a look right away at Megan Straub. You see how solid that game is of Straub's. That wrist finishing high, elbow in tight. She leaves the 2-5. Up on the right lane, here's Olivia Woolburn. Wilburn, one of the motivators of this Waverly team.